So, a lot of you have been asking recently, what camera do we use when we do our vlogs? So I decided to do a little video for you, just to show you what we use, what equipment we take. It's nothing major, it's just pretty simple stuff, but it might help you decide on what to take or what not to take. So let's get into it.
So this is the entire contents of what's in my camera bag. As you can see, it's not a lot. I don't want it to be a lot. I don't want to be taking loads of equipment around with me, tripods and all that kind of stuff. I just want to travel light. So what I do is I go through each thing and show you what I've got. So this is the camera of choice that we use. It is a Canon G7X Mark I. It has currently been superseded by the Mark II. They don't make the Mark I anymore. The Mark II currently is around the £450 to £500 mark. The difference being between the Mark I and the Mark II is very, very small. There's not a lot of great difference between them. There's a few built-in features that are different, and I think the screen angle's slightly different. But other than that, nothing major to talk about. For us, it's a great little camera. It's a very popular camera. You've got the flip-up screen, which you can see yourself filming, or if you want to see what's going on in the shot. And you can just flip it round, point it back down and start filming again. It's lightweight, it's very versatile, very well built. It films at 1080p, 60 frames a second, and it is a brilliant little camera. Built-in flash. If you just want to use it as a normal camera for taking pictures, it's absolutely brilliant. It's got some great features, too many to talk about, and the picture quality is absolutely brilliant for just normal point and shoot. So yeah, that's the camera that we use. Very, very good. And it comes with a wrist strap. Happy days. So these are the batteries that we currently use for the G7X. They're compatible ones. They're a lot cheaper than the Canon ones that come with it. These are currently £13.50 on Amazon. I'll put a link below so you can see. We've got 5 in total, 1 in the camera, and they last a little bit longer than the Canon ones as well. So, well, we found them that they do anyway. So, best to have a few of those with you, just in case you get caught short. And they only take about, I don't know, a couple of hours to charge, if that. Montpalist is the name. In addition to the charger that comes with a Canon G7X, we bought this off Amazon, which was only $11.50, something like that, and it's just a USB camera battery charger. Does the job, plugs into any USB plug, ideal for when you're travelling abroad. Takes a little bit longer to charge than the normal charger, but it's ideal if you want to have a couple of batteries charging at the same time. And I do believe they do a dual charging pack as well, so you can actually charge 2 at the same time. Very lightweight, and it's made by a company called ERIN'S. So again, I'll put a link in the description so you can see that on Amazon. Very good, very handy. Now, another important thing that we've bought over time is this little SKINY micro muff, and you're probably thinking, what the hell is it? Is it like a little furry pet or what? No, this is actually one of the most important things you'll buy if you're doing a lot of outdoors filming to stop the wind noise. It's just called a SKINY micro muff, and it costs around $12.50. Sticks onto the top of the camera over the microphone, so you got the microphone on the camera, which is on the top, and then what you do is you've got a little bit of Velcro that comes with this SKINY micro muff, and it's just an attachment that fits over the microphone, and this protects the wind noise. So as you know, on some of the videos you see, you hear a lot of well, this is the little gizmo that cuts it all out, and it's like £12.50, £12.95, and it's called a SKINY micro muff, which I'll put a description to it below again. Well worth a purchase. Nothing worse than hearing a ton of wind noise. A lot of people ask us what SD cards are the best ones to use. We kind of just stick with the household brand names like SanDisk or Kingston. I must admit the SanDisk ones are better. This is a micro SD card. that comes with a little adapter, and these are class 10 64 gig ones, currently around £20 on Amazon. I tend to buy them as and when. I've got about 4 or 5, and we've got a few 8 gig ones, and we keep them in this little protector, little carry case. It's about £5 off eBay. Ideal, just keeps them protected a little bit. So yeah, we've got the Kingston ones there. So we tend to go for the class 10 SD cards. If you're not sure what the class 10 is basically the write speed to the card. Class 10 is currently the highest, I think, at the minute, or one of the highest. Ideal for HD filming at 1080p, 60 frames a second. Usually we can get about a 15-minute shot, continuous shot, before it decides to shut down or stop writing to the card. Not many people are going to be filming a vlog for 15 minutes straight unless you're doing something like this, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to pause it or whatever you're going to do with the camera. But yeah, they're ideal, and they're, like I say, £20 Amazon, bargain. I tend not to go for like 128 gig ones because I feel like you're storing way too much on there, and if you do lose it and you've done a lot of filming, you're going to lose a massive chunk of your holiday footage or whatever you're doing. So that's why I tend to stick with 64 gigs. Some people take backup hard drives so that they can put the SD cards into a drive and export all the footage at the end of the day of filming, so they've got a backup, and then they wipe the card. I tend to just keep the cards full up, and then just when I get back from holiday or Florida or wherever, I just transfer it straight to the Mac. Makes it a little bit easier for me. I can't be faffing around at the end of the day transferring footage. Like I said, just like to keep it nice and easy. Now you're probably wondering what this is. This is a lens cover. Now one thing I found on the Canon G7X over the months is behind the lens, the glassy bit, if you're keeping this in your pocket, even with it turned off, which you're going to be, this attracts a lot of dust behind the lens, and there is no official way to get in there and clean behind the glass or the lens itself. And I've actually managed to do it, but I've voided my warranty because I've actually broken the glue that sticks the lens in, and I've managed to get in there and blow the dust out and put it all back together. So what I did is I did a little bit of research, and a couple of people on some forums were mentioning that you can buy these. Now what this is this is a hunting rifle scope protector. So what this does basically is it just fits over the lens when it's retracted. I know it looks a bit cumbersome and a little bit big and bulky, but it protects the dust from getting into the lens. It's a nice tight seal. It's made of rubber, so it's not on there dead tight, as you can see. And I actually keep this on all the time. You literally just squeeze the cover and you can just pop it open, quickly switch on, and it doesn't interfere with the filming. It's ideal. And believe it or not, this is about £1.50 from eBay. It's from Hong Kong, took about 3 weeks to come, but this has been a godsend, and it stops all the dust getting in, or it stops a majority of dust getting in. Now it's not going to be 100% foolproof, but it's just an additional protection, because I noticed the first time we took this to Florida, this very quickly got dust on the or behind the lens, and it was really frustrating. I know it doesn't really affect the footage, but knowing it's there and it's getting worse is a real pain. So that's what I decided to do, is get this little cover protector. And if you want to do a search on eBay, I'll put a link to it below, but if you want to search, it's basically a hunting rifle scope protector. And like I said, it's made of rubber, so it's just going to fit on there and squeeze on there pretty easily. Happy days. well chuffed with that one. When it comes to tripods, I don't actually use one very often. I just use this propped up on something if I want to film like a, I don't know, a static shot for 10-15 minutes. I'll just use this, prop it up. I do have a little tripod, but it's a bit of a pain in the bum and I can't be bothered to keep getting it out, so this is alright. It's just a little Gorilla Grip thing. You've seen these around. They just sort of like prop the camera on the top and you can extend the legs out and use it as a tripod, and also wrapped around bars and things like that. One thing a lot of people do is use these as a pistol grip for their camera when they're walking around, and so they kind of hold it outstretched like that so they can move it around, film it what they want to film. For me, I don't like to use a pistol grip. I feel that when you're just holding the camera, you've got more control. You don't get that kind of jerk reaction that you see on some vlogs where people are like walking and they're sort of like looking at things and they're turning the camera and you get a real sharp jerk on the screen. So for me, I kind of like to just hold it very smooth and steady up and down, and you kind of get that sort of flowy motion. It's got a built-in stabilizer in the camera anyway, but it just makes it a lot more easier for me to hold and control, as opposed to kind of like, you know, just, I get why people do it. It is nice to hold like that, but I just find that I've watched quite a few vlogs in the past where people are using the camera and they're kind of jerking it quite quick around, so you get that sort of snappy jerky movement on the screen and it doesn't make for good watching. So each their own, but that's my personal preference anyway. And then this is the case that I keep it in, and it is attached to my belt sometimes on my shorts. It's just a really nice little camera case, nothing fancy. It's got a little side pocket, put in your SD cards, a cleaning cloth, and that's it. Straps on your belt, through the little loop, job's a good one. Nothing fancy. So that is it. That is the entire contents of our camera bag. If it's been of use to you, give it a big old thumbs up. Bah!